It is summertime here in Baltimore, and you know it. I got my flip-flops on. We need to talk about day tripping now. I know you heard it before, location, 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 but Baltimore's got it. Baltimore is centrally located on the East Coast with major railways, highways to any point you need to go, and of course the Chesapeake Bay at your disposal. And that is a key feature if you're moving or relocating to my city, Baltimore. Charm City is surrounded by beautiful natural attractions, exhilarating theme parks, and gorgeous, gorgeous coastal cities. I have 10 day trips from Baltimore that are affordable and are awesome. Meet me on the other side and I will share. But you gotta promise me, you gotta stay for number 9 and number 10 because they are the highlights. Have we met? If not, it's time we did. My name is Mark and I am all Baltimore. Born, raised, and forevermore. Drive less than a few hours in any particular direction from Baltimore and you'll find yourself at the beach, at ocean, deep within a lush forest, or on top of mountains screaming at the top of a roller coaster, or just wandering through a charming historic city, all within 3 hours of Baltimore. I could give you a list of 30, 40, 50 awesome places to go, but here's 10 to get you started. First on the list is Annapolis, and I was just there. If you love charm of a historic city, make time on your Maryland holiday for a day trip to Annapolis. Annapolis is the sailing capital of America. Located just 40 minutes from Baltimore, this excursion to Maryland's capital city is an easy round trip to tackle in a single day. It's a historic city nestled on the edge of the Chesapeake Bay. Annapolis offers a wide array of urban activities in a waterfront setting. The city's vibe, and it's got a very cool vibe, is a little more laid back, a lot more laid back than Baltimore. But there's certainly no shortage of things to do in Annapolis. Peruse the Annapolis Maritime Museum, dine along the Annapolis City Dock, or check out Ego Alley, or you can take a photography tour through the colorful historic district. The possibilities are endless, and of course the Naval Academy keeps this town vibrant. Here's a can't miss, the capital of the free world, Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. is only an hour drive from Baltimore, and it is a must-see for any traveler, especially if this is your first time passing through the U.S. A trip to Washington will give you the ultimate crash course on American politics, history, and culture. Touring the United States Capitol buildings and visiting the Library of Congress might seem too obvious, but there are attractions you can't pass up. If you've only got one day though, you definitely need to have a change of pace. Remember that DC is a museum lover's haven. The Smithsonian Museum of Natural History must. The National Gallery of Art, love that place, and the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum will all be at your fingertips. Before heading back to Charm City though, dig into one of the best restaurants in DC around DuPont Circle or Logan Circle. This is crazy. Here, man, I'm born and raised in Baltimore, an hour away, and I've never seen the Lincoln Memorial. Lincoln's my favorite president, and that, let me tell you, that's a must. I'm getting that done this summer. Here's the treasure, Gunpowder Falls State Park. For a quick and well-rounded escape to wilderness, consider a day trip to Gunpowder Falls State Park. There are six distinctive locations, and each access point is unique. It features well over 1,800 acres and 120 miles of trails. If you're someone who prefers to take your vacation days as they come, the state park is a great adventure to keep in your back pocket. The reserve is only a half hour outside of Baltimore, and it's easy peasy to head out on a nature walk on a whim. After you arrive at Gunpowder Falls State Park, you can choose from a series of trails that lead through the forest, historic villages, and even an old railway. Most of the trails are at a fairly mild difficulty level, but you can stay as long as you please because the footpaths extend almost nearly 20 miles. Gunpowder Falls State Park also features swimming beach, love that area, used to take my twins there all the time, tubing river, archery range for those seeking a little bit more activity-centric experience. I know you've been waiting for it. Here comes my Baltimore accent. The fourth on the list is Ocean City. If you want to complement your Baltimore experience with another hip, urban destination, head to Ocean City, Maryland. You can get to the Maryland coastal city in a little under 3 hours. It's 2.5 hours by car, and it's totally doable as far as a single day if you're willing to get up early and return as the sun sets. It's a day trip. I've done it many, many times. But if you can stay for the night, come on, you have to. You're at the beach. A visit to Ocean City is one of the best day trips from Baltimore for travelers with kids, and it's easy to see why. Exciting attractions lie around every single corner, like amusement parks and dolphin watching cruises. There's also the Happening Beach Boardwalk. You can sit there and watch people all day long. And of course, that features arcades and ice cream shops and vintage family-sized bikes. As far as good eats, it's all seafood. It's Ocean City. It's one of the best places in Maryland to eat fresh crab. Be sure to stop for dinner at one of the many waterfront seafood joints before returning back to the big city. Nothing but fond memories of Ocean City. And in fact, I just came back. I was there over the weekend. Look how tanned I look. Love Ocean City. Number 5 on the list is Sandy Point Park in Anne Arundel County. Aspiring naturalists and water bugs alike will absolutely fall in love with Sandy Point State Park. Just 45 minutes from Baltimore, this day trip will provide you with sandy shores right on the Chesapeake Bay for swimming, and of course it has sprawling lawns for weekend picnicking and a small handful of trails connecting the ocean to the marshes and of course pine forests of Maryland. Above all else, Sandy Point State Park is a top destination for aquatic adventures. When you've had enough swimming, of course, or the weather's maybe a little too chilly for it, you'll still find plenty of water activities here. Boat rentals, check this out, they have boat rentals are available on the shoreline. And if you like to venture out on your own, you can also try your hand at fishing for rockfish or crabbing. How about that? With the help of a guide. If you're moving about Baltimore or relocating from some other boring city, I have an awesome free moving guide down below. Just click the link, check out my free moving guide. It's gonna help you stay organized through that crazy move. It's free. I never had that, you do. Number 6, this is an absolute hidden treasure. This is the unofficial gathering place for Maryland-bound beach bums, Chesapeake Beach. You can catch in some rays or some well-needed R&R. It's a perfect end to a busy weekend in this city. Just an hour and some change from Baltimore, Chesapeake Beach is close enough for an afternoon on the sands. That said, there are plenty of coastal vacation rentals and boutique hotels that are calling your name. Go! While lazing around in the sands, the sand is the number one thing to do on Chesapeake Beach rather. There are several options for visitors who can't sit still. As a top sailing destination, it's a great place to charter a sunset cruise and pop champagne. That doesn't even make sense. If that's your style, God bless you. For me, going there, the rock fishing is out of this world. Rockfish is nothing more than a striped bass. And there are many captains in Chesapeake Beach to get you out on the bay. Of course, there's a museum, the Bruce Snake Gabrielson's Surf Art Gallery and Museum. This is Maryland's only surfboard and surfing museum. Never been there. Check it out. I have several clients that bought and sold homes in Chesapeake Beach area. And if you're into the water lifestyle, Chesapeake Beach should be on high on your list. There's plenty of history around Baltimore. Number 7 on the list is Antietam National Battlefield. Amateur history buffs visiting Baltimore simply can't pass up the opportunity to jump over to Antietam National Battlefield, located only 1.5 hours from Baltimore, and a great day trip. Browse the museum exhibits inside the visitor center, or of course head outside where the real adventure begins. Take the 11-stop self-guided tour through the historical site, or ask a park ranger to accompany you when they're not giving an educational battlefield talk. If you have time, embarking on the Antietam National Battlefield hike is absolutely worthwhile. You'll meander past several important battle sites, goosebumps again, monuments. They have pretty forests and farms. To say the least, the battlefield is hallowed ground. Each December, and this is crazy, each December for one day, the battlefield is caressed in a soft glow of 23,000 candles. Each one represents a soldier who was killed, lost, or wounded during the Battle of Antietam. God, I got goosebumps. Number 8 on the list is this Chesapeake and Ohio Canal National Historic Park, the C&O Canal as we call it. Easy ride out of Baltimore. After an hour and 10-minute cruise down the highway, you're going to stumble upon rocky cliffs, rushing turquoise waters, and a series of historic bridges. And of course, the Shenandoah Canal has several landscapes straight out of a fairy tale featuring untamed wilderness. Of course, you could hike through the natural area or take a canal boat ride through the waterways or go on a magical horseback ride, if you're into that, through the forest and the village. Don't let the icy weather get you down though. Visiting during the colder months, the Shenandoah Canal becomes a winter wonderland, offering winter activities like dog sledding, ice fishing, skating, cross-country skiing if we have snow. I'm certain you don't know, but I'm an Eagle Scout. We had many adventures on the Shenandoah Canal, and this one, Scott Watkins screaming at the top of his lungs that we were going to die during this bad thunder and lightning storm. I'll never forget it. Laughed so hard, I could still see it. Too funny. Good times, folks, on the Shenandoah Canal. I remember this one. Number 9, I told you it's special, is breathtaking. If you're looking for a fun and educational day trip to take with the whole family, take a drive out to Mount Vernon, Virginia, George Washington's estate. After just an hour of travel time, you'll be transported back to the 18th century. You can easily spend a whole afternoon exploring Mount Vernon, so it's best to dedicate a whole day to this side excursion, especially if you want to make some stops along the way. Besides just roaming around the estate, there's a shocking amount of things to do at Mount Vernon. To start, you can participate in several themed tours, ranging from Through My Eyes character tour to a photo cruise down the Potomac River. It sits right on the Potomac River. Unbelievable vista. Before you leave, don't forget, you can, of course, visit the distillery and grist mill where George Washington used to make his own whiskey. Though tastings are not available on site anymore, the distillery is still in operation today, and you can actually take home a bottle of spirits as a souvenir. This was the ultimate go-to in elementary school. Damn, elementary school. That was a long time ago. Woo! I told you number 10 was special. Looking for a place to recover after a hectic week in the city? Get a breath or fresh air at the Shenandoah National Park in Virginia. An absolute must-see. Since the drive to Shenandoah National Park is about 2 hours from Baltimore across state lines, you'll want to consider the length of your day hike when you're penciling it into your itinerary. If you're an avid backpacker or want to take on one of the heftier treks, consider booking a backcountry camping site or checking out the nearby nature lodges. They're awesome. Shenandoah National Park has over 500 miles of trails to choose from. You used to backpack through there. If you choose to stay overnight, be sure to keep your eyes on the sky. Shenandoah offers some stellar stargazing, with the Milky Way often visible from the meadows. Not a big hiker? Don't worry about that. Shenandoah State Park is still a great destination as long as you have an appreciation for the outdoors and a great view. Or like some of my friends and even myself, get on your Harley and go. That's how I did it. Skyline Drive, winding through the park, is considered one of the best scenic drives in the United States. Plenty of places to grab a bite and eat. Every 25 miles is food, drink, and restrooms at your disposal. Absolutely stunning. Do it. Shenandoah State Park. I told you, we got it all, folks. You're gonna love Baltimore. Love it. Don't forget about my free moving guide down below. Click the link and you know it. I love you, Baltimore.